Wednesday. Tomorrow is the last day of the week as far as school goes. And today was a beautiful day, is a beautiful day. And so we are going to have a real quick conversation with a teacher who is not in a unique situation, I think, but is in a position to give us a little bit of insight into what it's like to be at home, both parents working. She's obviously a school teacher, and her husband obviously still working from home, and with a family in the house and a lot going on, and talk a little bit about balance, a little bit about how things are going with her, and a quick talk about a passion of hers that was interrupted because of this situation that we're all in. And then after that, we're going to take a little glide through my backyard because it is such a great day. We'll go out and just take a peek at a few of the things that are going on back there, and that will wrap it up for Wednesday. Get us over the hump, if you will. So let's speak to that teacher now, and I'll be back to say goodnight. Hello, Mrs. Froehlich.
Hey, Mr. Geiger, how are you?
Great. How are you today?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. It's nice to see you in your garage.
Yeah, that's what they all say. I think they'd like to keep me here, my wife included.
Yeah.
But speaking of which, how are things at home with you?
Things are going well. I mean, it's nice when we have these beautiful days because I did spend the last 2 hours outside with my girls walking and biking and playing rough skating. So, it's definitely good to get out. It's been busy, I have 2 kids under 4 and I'm trying to teach virtually. I'm trying to make sure they don't hurt each other during the day. They stay entertained. My 4-year-old has a virtual morning meeting at 10 a.m. that I'm also trying to coordinate.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yep, I imagine it is. So your husband's working from home as well.
Yeah.
I know he works for a major company, so I know he's busy. And you have two girls, and how old are they, if you don't mind me asking?
Anakin is 4, and Chelsea is a year and a half.
So that is a full-time job, despite the fact that you have a full-time job online. And
it is. I keep thinking, I didn't realize how much I appreciated having the separation between work and home, because I really could be teacher at school, be Mrs. Froehlich, and then I could be mama at home, and now they've merged, and it's kind of hard to, be 100% at both all of this time.
It must be very difficult for the oldest especially to figure out what's going on and why she can't just grab you at any moment in the day.
Yeah, but you know what? She also likes popping in on Zoom, so I assume she likes coming into my videos that I make for the students. She likes asking when I'm going to talk to my friends, because that's what she calls my students. So I think she's enjoying it a little bit too. The younger one has no idea what's going on.
Right. And so your full roster, put all the kids in one space. How many students are on your rosters?
104.
104. So that is obviously a daunting task and a challenge.
Yeah.
So speaking of challenges,
yes.
I see in the rear of your room there quite a few ribbons hanging and medals. Are those all yours?
They're all mine. So this is my little, you have your Geiger's garage. I have my running room. So in here, this is where I hang my medals for my races. I have my treadmill for when I run before school, before anybody wakes up at my house. And I have my exercise bike. But this is kind of where I do my little self-care down here. But yeah, these are all my medals for my races and from over the years.
Do you know how many you have?
I know I have. This is one I keep for my marathons. I've done 5 marathons, so I have them on their own separate one, and then this one holds the rest. I've never counted the rest.
Yep, that's awesome. And you had a marathon. Before you came on, I spoke a little bit about how you were interrupted this year by this virus thing, and you had a marathon booked for the spring.
Yeah, I was supposed to do a half marathon, a marathon, old. So, it's interesting. All of them got deferred to next year. So I guess I'll be very busy next year, hopefully.
And were you, I kind of like, I don't liken you to an Olympic athlete, but I know there's a lot of preparation involved in those kinds of things. So you more than anyone, I think, can sympathize with those Olympians who were postponed for a year, and just in general, how those seniors in high school, college, all those sports people, it must be a crushing thing for them.
Yeah, I mean, you really work it up, right? You train for a long time, and it's an exciting thing to have a big goal at the end. But at the same time, none of us really want to be with thousands of our friends standing at the start line right now. So it makes more sense to wait until it's safer for everybody.
Agreed. So one last thing about running I can ask you. You're probably aware of what Mr. Scour's up to?
I am.
So he is advertising that he is going to do a 50K in his backyard.
Yeah.
And I don't...
781 laps, he said.
781 laps. What do you think that's going to feel like for him? You're a runner.
I mean, for me, it would be impossible. First, the distance. Second, I cannot mentally do that. But Mr. Scour has done some amazing running feats, so I have no doubt that he's going to be successful. And when I read that email, I said, yeah, that's something Mike would come up with. So for him, I think it's going to be a challenge, but a doable challenge for him. For the average Joe, and even for a good runner, I think it would be impossible. But it'll be interesting to see how it goes for him. Yeah,
I'm interested to see if his wife just tells him to stop halfway, like it's too much of you going by the window every 13 seconds or whatever it's going to be.
I think his wife must be very used to his antics at this point.
Yeah, I think you're right. He is he is a crazy runner, and I don't mean that literally, but just he has run in a multitude of events in all kinds of terrains. So this should be very interesting to check in from time to time. I think he's going to do it live, so it'll be interesting to see if to pop in and see where he's at, and to see if he loses track of his laps and all that other nonsense.
I know. I was just thinking this morning when I knew we were going to talk. I believe out of my 5 marathons, Mike participated in 3 of them. So he shows up in a lot of places in the running world, and I know he'll do a great job. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, it will be. I can't wait. Hey, listen, I wanted to thank you. I know how busy you are, and life is moving even behind the scenes as we talk. But I did want to thank you so much for popping in tonight. I know the kids love to see the teachers outside of the Zoom classroom situation and hear a little bit about your inside life. And I think the parents do appreciate, because they're working from home as well, they do appreciate the heavy load that the teachers have at this time. But I thought having you here tonight to talk about that a little bit might just emphasize that point more than I can do in an email. So thanks so much for being honest and talking about how things are going in the Froehlich house. And
well, thanks for having me. And I really do miss the kids. I love seeing them in Zoom, but it's really not the same. So
it's not the same.
We're all hoping to get back to normal sometime soon.
From your mouth to God's ears, as they say. Great seeing you.
All right. Bye-bye.
So short but sweet. And what a great job she's doing with her classes. Mrs. Froehlich is a favorite in 7th grade science teacher. And I knew she was an athlete. I didn't realize how accomplished she was with so many ribbons hanging in her runner's room. So I guess we all have those little special places that we like to hang out in and escape for a little bit of time anyway. But with 2 little girls running around the house, I doubt if she has much time to escape. But I do appreciate her being with us tonight. And I hope you enjoyed that. Just a little glimpse into the life of someone who is very, very busy and at the same time doing everything she can to make sure that our kids are moving forward. So now let's take a look outside at some of the things that I've created here in the garage that I've installed in the backyard. And we'll take a nice little walk through the spring day, and then we'll call it a night. Enjoy. So I hope you enjoyed seeing some of the things that are outside today. And I don't mean on the short film I just shared with you, but I mean in your own yard. There's still lots you can do now that the weather has broken, and still stay on your property and stay close by. But there are activities and things you can do outside to make your yard look prettier, and the general upkeep that normally you might leave to someone else. If you spend 5 minutes a day like I am, putting in maybe 10-15 minutes a day doing cleanup that I normally would not do, slowly but surely things are getting back into shape, and I can do part-time, a little bit of cleanup and a little bit of a longer time just relaxing and enjoying the fact that it is such a beautiful day outside. So without further ado, guys, keep working. I promised you that I would be here each night to say hello, but not a big message tonight, except get out there, enjoy that fresh air. And I know I've gotten videos of my grandchildren who are swinging on the swing, climbing on the play set in their backyard, and enjoying the day. So you all do that too, as much as you possibly can. And until tomorrow, keep the faith, and until we meet again, know that I'm thinking of you all. Thanks a lot. Have a good night.